Anything that Chris Lemonis said stand out to you?
I mean, I agree with what you said. He felt he was very candid. I mean, the frustration is evident, and if you listen to his post-game conversations with the media, and you listen to what he just said, it's obvious, man, that the guy's he's just not used to failure. He's been a successful head coach at every stop, and had been super successful, obviously, at Mississippi State, and didn't plan for this. Nobody thought this team was going to be like this. So, a very tough season for him. But like you said, he's coming on, and he's not. He doesn't seem to be making excuses. He's just telling you this is how it is.
Messages on the C Spire text line. I like that Lemonis is not backing up, like sending an assistant coach for you guys to interview. Yeah, all three coaches have been great. I mean, last 2 weekends have been tough for Southern Miss. Scott Berry's going to jump on with us. Ole Miss had a really rough run. Mike Bianco there on Monday. I mean, last week, Mike Bianco called me in the middle of the day, and they were coming off losing that series at Arkansas on Monday. He's like, hey, I can't do it at the normal time. Is there another time we could talk on Monday? Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you doing that. Would have been really easy to be like, hey, I got a family thing I got to take care of. I get it.
Yeah.
And Chris Lemonis, obviously, in a tough season, has been with us every Monday throughout the year. Greg disagrees, though, or Greg's got a problem with the way Chris Lemonis is approaching. He says, how many times did Sully go out to the mound to reset things? All of them. How many times did Chris charge out for a great teaching moment? Not one time. Sit over there on your bucket and argue balls and strikes with the home plate umpire. It's your baby. You rock it, Captain. That's Greg.
Well, no offense to Greg, but maybe some offense. But I'm going to go with the guy that won a national title last year. And what he wants to do. And I'm normally not the, you got to trust the coach guy. Coaches make mistakes. They're human. But the guy won a national title 10 months ago. I'm going to give him some slack.
I do have a question on that front. Somebody asked me last night about recruiting strategy into next year for State and what they should do, because you guys asked him about the portal. He seemed a little reluctant, but at this point, does he have a choice other than to go pretty heavy in there?
And I went back and listened to that again, too. And maybe I was a little harsh on what I said in terms of, he said we're going to be active in the portal, maybe a little bit more. And he said when he talked about not wanting to build a program through the portal, I get what he's saying there. But State, we've talked about this, and this actually we talk about it on today, on what will be tomorrow's Thunder and Lightning. Pitching, you got to get some pitchers in there for sure. Middle infielder, catcher, because I don't think Luke Hancock's going to come back for another year. He might, but I don't think he is. And then you need another outfielder. Those are the four things you need. And, of course, when it comes to pitching, you need 2 or 3 guys there,
So
you need
you're saying if Luke Hancock comes back, he would slide to catcher in the absence?
Yeah, I mean, he was a catcher in high school. He states backup catcher, and he's not a first baseman at the next level.
No.
If he's going to play pro ball, catching is his future there. So he needs to show that he can do it, I think.
And Mississippi State's got a really good recruiting class, but having a really good recruiting class is scary sometimes, right? I mean, they're four top 75 guys? I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to get
They've got a guy in there. They've got a guy in Jet Williams who could probably be their starting second baseman next year and just take over for R.J. Yeager, but unlikely to make it to campus.
He's like a top 30 prospect, isn't he?
Yeah. The kid who's at Madison Central, Ross Highfield, would probably be the catcher if Luke Hancock decides to leave. But, again, you got to get him to campus as well. Yeah. So the portal is going to be big for Mississippi State, no question.
It's another thing, too, that I've seen a lot of lately. Oh, he won with other guys' recruits.
Stop.
Well, first of all, he won. The first part of that sentence, he won, period. But also, baseball is such a different animal. They're recruiting these kids when they're 13. There are guys on Mississippi State's team that committed to John Cohen.
Luke Hancock committed to John Cohen.
At least one. I mean, so it takes years for a baseball coach to have his guys. It's not football, or especially basketball, where you turn over an entire roster in like a year and a half. Chris Lemonis is recruiting 9th graders right now to play for him. It'll be years before he actually has a roster full of his guys. And the same thing if things
you know
change.
who you got a commitment from? You know who you got a commitment from and signed? Will Bednar. That's a Lemonis guy. 100%. Committed to Chris Lemonis. I mean, but we're going to judge this guy. I mean, it's lazy. It's lazy is all it is, all right? This is a bad season. It's an outlier for Mississippi State baseball. I would trust in Chris Lemonis and his staff to correct the issues that are there. If they don't, then when we come back in, May 9th, 2023, if this is still the case, we can have this conversation. And, buddy, I'll be more than happy to have it with you. But you can't have it today.
It's kind of like I've said over and over and over with Lane Kiffin, you kind of give him the benefit of the doubt that his offense is going to be good until it's not.
Yeah.
You got to give Chris Lemonis the benefit of the doubt that his style is going to work until it doesn't. Yes, it has not worked this year. And if you just choose to stop right there and not go farther with, yeah, but you lost your best pitcher in week 3 and maybe your best reliever in week 3, and as a result had to take your other best reliever out of the bullpen and put him into the starting rotation, and then you lost 2 more depth guys along the way, if you choose not to look at any of those as a factor in the way this season is played out, and I know, hey, Dad, you've said a bunch of times, but they weren't playing great before those injuries. You're right. But it is a 56-game season, and you allow teams to grow throughout the course of the year, especially teams that stay healthy. How about this one? In response to Greg, so we read your text. This is in response to that. That take is poo trash. Walking out to the mound mid-inning for a teaching moment is about as overrated and overused as Peeps on Easter.
Good take. Peeps are trash.
100%.
I mean, if that's the case, nobody's getting more teaching moments in than Jay Johnson down at LSU. That guy gives you 8 or 9 teaching moments a game.
Is Luke beefy enough to play catcher? I think of catchers like Ham from Sandlot.
I mean, Luke plays catcher now. He's caught 4 or 5 games this year. He was a catcher in high school. Yes, he's fine.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
the real question is he tall enough to play first base, which he isn't.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, it's not like the program needs a colonoscopy, okay? You just got to get back to it. What? Hey, Dad, why are you laughing? What's so funny?
Tomorrow's the big day.
4:46 p.m. He was finally able to make the reference. He's been he's been gagging at the bit the whole time.
I had a plan to go a different route, but it just felt like it would work there.